Hey, you're supposed to be able to come on to video. Do you see something where you can request to be on video? Let me see if I can do it. Promote to panelist. Promote to panelist. Yay!
Hi.
It's working. Kelly, can you hear us? I can't hear you.
She's muted.
Oh. Sorry.
Is that better?
Yeah, sorry. I had you muted apparently.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm going to share this into Facebook.
Okay, then
Cool.
looks nice where you are, Kelly.
Yeah.
It is today. It's gorgeous finally. Oh,
It's
we
like
had a couple of days.
gloom and doom.
Yeah.
over here.
That's how it was for a couple of days. I'm glad I found sunshine.
Yeah.
I love sunshine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share this on my page, and then you all can share it from there.
Okay, let me know when you have it.
It's doing the wheel. It says preparing live stream webinar.
Live on Facebook.
Gonna put my headphones in so that we don't get feedback.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So now I think we can all share it from
Okay.
there. If you all go to my business page, we can share it. So now
Awesome.
I think we can
Oh gosh.
all share it from there. Jody, you might need to put headphones in. Business page, we can share it. Now.
Do-do-do. All right. Come on, Facebook, work with me.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have headphones, Jody?
I need to get them. Let me get them.
Okay.
Okay, I shared it.
Awesome. I'm having issues sharing it. Okay, there we go. Skinny, stylish, and rich. This is the first time I've shared from Zoom into Facebook. This is cool.
I didn't know. I saw somebody did it the other day. I didn't know we could do that. I kind of like that feature.
Yeah, me too. I think you have, I had to last night, I had to upgrade to this is the webinar option in Zoom.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And then once you do that, it gives you this feature that once the webinar starts.
Nice.
Okay. And then share this to my page and then I'll be done sharing.
So I am on my phone and I'm not sure how long the battery will last with streaming something through Zoom.
Okay.
So if I randomly drop off, that's probably why.
No problemo. I think we're all shared. And then Jody's just getting our headphones right now. Okay, perfect. So that is showing up. Facebook, I feel like Facebook's been a little funky recently. I don't know if you've noticed this. And things are like not showing up or like there's like weirdness happening. So I've been checking every time because it's been a little bit wonky.
Yeah, I've had a couple where like it'll just share the title I type in and the video like isn't there. So
Yeah, I had one video that I did in my group and I did the whole video. It was like so exciting. And then I went back and people were like, oh, I'm going to come back and watch the replay. And it had like just deleted itself. I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's good times. Yay,
Yeah.
Jody's back.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, Heath took my headphones.
That's what happens when you live with those husbands.
Yeah,
And children. They do
children
it all the
that
time.
like to eat them.
Yes.
Kelly, I'm loving watching your this is like coffee chat right now. I'm loving watching all of your comments about your kids and like
Yeah.
yesterday how you were like, oh, the kids have realized now they get to do their own laundry.
Oh yeah, we had like a night last week that I was like chronicling all of the saga that was going on in our house, this massive drama with like laundry and showers, and like all of a sudden their arms don't work, and it's just like normal night at our house, but everybody was so responsive to it because it's just real life. And then yesterday they were like, I need to do laundry. I was like, cool, go do it. And then they got to the folding and they were like, I don't like this. Like, I know.
You're like, yep, welcome to the beginning of your life where I did it for you. And now I'm empowering you.
Yes, exactly. I'm teaching you because your dad went to college and didn't know how to do laundry. So
Oh, I love it. Awesome. So let's dive right in because I don't want your phone to die. So everyone that's watching, if you don't know me, I'm Kate Taylor. I'm a personal and brand stylist. And then Jody, you want to tell them who you are?
Yep. I'm Jody Bullock, and I'm a holistic health coach.
Awesome. And then Kelly?
I am Kelly Greeno, and I am a life coach. I work specifically with business owners that are also moms and helping them create the balance between the two so they can actually enjoy life and build a business they love.
Nice. So we are here just doing our Fashion Meets Food Friday, but we wanted to turn it into celebrations of a skinny, stylish, and rich sessions gal. So Kelly joined up with us last week, and we kind of just wanted to celebrate her and get really excited for her because her business is killing it this past week in a major way, which we'll have her tell you about. But one of the things I just wanted to start off by saying is everything in our businesses and our lives there is a path of least resistance. And it's one of the things that Abraham Hicks says, and like all the different people say, and there is a path of least resistance. Things actually can be fun. You actually can have it all. And the ruse that there has to be suffering and struggling, Jody and I are kind of trying to bust that bubble and not let people suffer and struggle anymore because it can be super freaking fun. Anything you want to say on that, Jody?
I mean, it's just that you can have these thoughts that apply to all different areas of your life. So when you start a business, obviously there's a big learning curve and you have to learn some stuff. But then what we want for people is to be able to get into flow. And that's going to start to, you're going to become more aware of everything. And so you become aware of your body. You become aware of how you present yourself. You become aware of your family relationships and everything and how that affects your business. And this is a carryover of, how when you're getting all the pieces together and transitioning into like this next level of a woman or business owner, these are just things that you're naturally going to gravitate towards. And so we're kind of here to help like ease you into that process and make it fun and to help it to amplify what the passion you have for your business too.
Yeah. So on that note, Kelly, I would love to hear from you, and we'll kind of make it like an interview Q&A so you don't feel like you have to just like speak. But maybe what was the one thing that when you saw that first video and you saw us kind of like chatting and talking, what stuck out to you the most that you were like, oh, I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I'm hooked.
Well, I think it was a couple of things. I am the type of person that I don't normally watch live videos unless I catch it like right at the beginning. Then I'll like remind myself, leave like a tab open on my computer to like come back and watch it later. So there's like 6 tabs open. But that particular day, I think both of you posted in your news feeds that were like, oh, come join us later. We're going to talk about this and this and this. And I was kind of like, oh, great. Like, I love those two. I love when they do stuff together. I want to go watch this. And then I just kind of forgot about it. And then, of course, universal timing, I like happened to scroll through when you're like 2 minutes into that video. I was like, oh, that's right. I wanted to watch this. So I popped on right at the point when you guys were actually talking about the fact that when you ask for something, the universe will always bring you what you need. And it's being presented to you as like, you've been asking, here it is. All you have to do is say yes. And I was like, that's exactly it. That's what I've been talking about with my group. And I've been super aware of that myself lately, of like getting clear on what I'm asking for and then being open to whatever solution opportunity presents itself. So that piece really stuck out to me as like, well, clearly this is all aligning up for a reason. And there was
What were
another
you, when you
piece-
say that you'd been asked, like it was ringing true of like what you've been asking for was being delivered, what were you experiencing? Share as much as you're comfortable with, but in your business or anything like that, that you were thinking, I'd love a really easy solution out of this, or I'd love, to just maybe expand upon this. Was there anything that you were like feeling or experiencing?
I was looking for, not intentionally looking for, but it was like, I know there's big things that I want to do this last quarter of the year. And I know my vibration and my frequency and keeping my energy high in a consistent way that feels really good was super important. So the fact that you guys were talking about like, breaking 6 figures and feeling fantastic while you do it, like this whole concept was like, oh, well, that's exactly what I was kind of thinking I need to make sure that I do. Because a lot of what I'd been experiencing was that I have a habit of making things extra hard on myself. And I'm just like exhausted from it. I was like, I want to do this and feel good. I want to feel good every day, not just like hype myself up for a video and then like crash on the couch because I'm exhausted. So
Yeah.
anything that I can do to help myself feel energetic and feel high vibe, whatever that small, it's always those small things, right? But it's like the combination of all those that was like, well, food and clothes and fashion and like showing up and being me and feeling good from the inside out, like the whole package, I think is what really kind of brought it all together for me. It was like everything I was thinking about all rolled into one.
And you've kind of been on a check for that, I think, this past year of just really owning your power and owning like what it is that you're doing in this world, as well as your style and your body, and like really just being empowered by it. So that's been awesome to watch. I mean, you've really taken a hold of that. And I think that that's important to acknowledge is you saw this as divine timing, and you saw this as like, this is the path of least resistance. And I'm excited about this. But also there had been awareness on your part, right? Like that you were like, I am a powerful woman. I'm a powerful business owner. I'm a powerful mom, a powerful wife. And this was like, not that you were just feeling like, oh my God, I'm dying here. What do I do? Like you were in your power, you're empowered, and you were like, this is for me because I'm already empowered. I just want to like be taken to that next level. I compare that to anytime that I go see a trainer or like a therapist or anything. I'm like, I think everything's good, but like, I just want to be the best version of myself. So, and when I signed up with Jody, I was like, yeah, I'm experiencing these issues here and there, but like, I think I'm eating well. I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything as best as I can.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's just all those little tweaks and things that you don't think about, you don't question, having somebody else come in and look from the outside and be like, well, actually you could like tweak this just a little bit and it makes a huge difference. I mean, clearly just what I learned from a couple of videos with you guys, just raising my awarenesses of like, it was intentionally choosing how I wanted to feel that day and doing whatever I needed to do to make sure that I felt exactly that way. Because I knew that day was about like signing 3 clients or, creating this specific feeling. And that comes down to, what am I eating this day? What can I wear this day that's going to make me feel fantastic? And being like intentional about taking it up another level.
Totally.
Yeah.
Jody, do you have any
that
thoughts
goes back to what you said about how you want to feel this higher vibration all the time. And it like, people don't understand that's the way it's supposed to be, that we have just like come into struggle or issues or like, I don't understand this, I don't know this in all areas of our life. And when you can like lift the lid open on that, or just have somebody say, hey, what if you did this instead? It will naturally like bring you back into the person that you're meant to be, in a very simple way, and allow you to feel, happy, joyful, high vibe, excited about your business. Like you said, not just before you do a live stream, but like through your morning, through your afternoon, when you're with your husband and your kids or whoever.
Yeah, exactly. It's an all day thing. I mean, I want to be able to live a good life, not just, show up for a live video and feel really good. It's the whole day. You want to feel fantastic through all of it and have something left to give to your family at the end of the day. And that's been a big focus this year, is balancing the two and having energy left. So you guys kind of just like filled in these little gaps and have brought new awarenesses to all these little things that are like, well, what about, how do you feel when you wake up, and how do you want to feel at the end of the day, and dressing and eating for that intentional purpose.
So speaking of those little tweaks, let's talk about, you saw a couple videos and raised your vibration. What happened? Like, did you go and sign a $50 client, or?
Well, I want to know first, like, what did you like
that's true.
change? Yeah. Like, did you like, just tell us, like, what did you like do as far as like I know you did something with
what were the action steps?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it was, like I said, getting really intentional about like, what is today about for me? How do I want to feel today? Like, what is this about? I want to feel like the woman, like the badass businesswoman that I know I'm meant to be. And, the confident, sexy, and edgy are like my 3 words that I go back to. And it was like, is this outfit making me feel that way? Is this going to be, does the woman that signs however many clients or I wanted to sign or whatever, like, is this how she dresses? Is this how she feels? And then intentionally choosing what I was going to eat that day, of like, cause I'm pretty health conscious. Like, I don't eat horrible by any means, but like you were saying, Kate, it's like these little tweaks, like, I just want to make sure, like, what else could I do? And Jody, you talked about coffee. And I was like, man, I love coffee. Like, I literally have a sign on my wall that's like butt first coffee. Like, it's part of my brand. And I was
know,
like,
you have coffee chat and stuff.
yeah. So, but I am drinking coffee again, but it was through this process of like, well, let's eliminate it and let's like wean off of it, and questioning that habit of mine. I mean, I've been drinking coffee since I was like 16. Like, I worked in a coffee shop. So it's something that I've just always done, but it was questioning that. And throughout that process, I actually got to see that like I was actually drinking too much and having too much caffeine, and that was hindering me, of course. But through the process, I was able to see like what amount of coffee is mine and like helps me stay high vibe, and then what point do I kind of cross over into too far or not enough, and it starts to affect my vibe and how I feel. And I actually went back and watched the live videos I did throughout that process of like getting off of coffee, and picked out the days that it was like, that day I felt amazing. That day I felt how I wanted to be. This is how I want to show up every day. And I was able to kind of see like, how much coffee did I have? What did I eat for breakfast? What did I do for a workout? What was I wearing that day? That really helped me feel fantastic. So through that process of just like evaluating habits that I probably haven't thought about in a long time helped a lot. One of the other things I did is I have in my closet, I colored a picture that says confident, sexy, and edgy. And it's right. And when you walk in, you can see it, to constantly remind me, like, I'm dressed. I stand in my closet. Like, is that how I feel? And there's been days when I'm like, no, this isn't going to do it. This isn't how I want to do it. It's like, I woke up feeling a little tired, or it was like gloomy and rainy. And it was like, no, my outfit reflects the gloom and the rain today. I want to feel confident, sexy, edgy today. And it was like choosing a different top. Or I have this like crawler earring in that I absolutely love, that like, if I wear that, and I always mismatch it with something, and like, that feels like me. And like, just those little things of intentionally being aware of, like, evaluating and questioning, how do I feel at the moment, and how can I make this better? How can I turn this into even better for the rest of the day, and for live videos, for my family, for what I'm going to do today? And the other thing that I realized too is I teach group exercise classes 2 nights a week. And those days I'll get up, I'll do my own workout. And then I find myself like, oh, I'll just put back on workout clothes and it'll be fine. And the video that I did on that day, like, I still felt cute. I don't have ugly workout clothes, but it was different. It was like, oh, that's totally not the energy I wanted to be putting out there. But I wasn't aware of that I was doing that. It was just kind of that logical habit of rationalizing, oh, because I'm going to get sweaty later, I should just put it on now. Like, what's the big deal to change my clothes before I leave versus, earlier in the day? So being more intentional of questioning, how can I make it better? Is this really how I want to show up? Is this going to be the energy I want to bring? And questioning every day. And even like through every project I'll start working on throughout the day. Like, how do I feel right now? What can I do to feel better? Do I need to go move? Do I need to go eat something? How's my energy feel, like, physically? Where do I feel mentally? can I have been wearing heels in my, like, I work from home and I've been walking around in stilettos in my own house because it's like, no, this feels damn good to me.
Yeah.
And my kids think I'm ridiculous, but I feel great. And I mean, like you guys were kind of alluding to, like I ended up signing 2 pay in full private clients and creating $10,000 that they it's not like they were brand new conversations.
Kelly.
Thank you. These were conversations that had started before, but they were kind of in that no man's land of like, they'd said yes, but nobody had like clicked submit. Nobody signed, like no contract, like that sort of in between of like, okay, when is the money going to come in? And I have a habit of like, you slip into kind of that like desperation and like worry and like, well, when's the money going to deposit? When is this? And by focusing on the things that you guys were talking about and being intentional about it, it helped me stay at that higher place and really stay in a place of service to others rather than so worried about me and making sure the money was in my bank account. And when I can come from that place, from that higher vibration and that better feeling, I was actually able to like get the divine downloads and inspiration of like what words I needed to use to speak to them to kind of promote that transaction to happen that day and have the commitment there. And I had one woman who was like, my credit card's not letting me do the full payment. Like, I'm like, we can adjust. But she was like sitting there struggling on her own, trying to figure out how to make all this work. And by me coming from a place of service and being like, finding the right words and being able to support her, because I was from this higher place, it just made everything flow so much better and so much easier.
And I think when you're coming from that place of empowered, sexy, confident, edgy, like everything that you are. And I love that you put that in your closet. I tell people to do that all the time. Like put it somewhere where you see it so then you can decide, like, is this how I feel? I even have people put it in their phones when they go shopping just to like, look at it. But I think that one of the points you just made was huge, is that we can get into the desperation mode of when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? And getting into all of that. But when you are taking yourself and you're putting yourself first, you're taking yourself to this high vibe place, everything else just gets to relax. It's like all muscles are clenched at the stress point, at the, oh my God, when is this going to happen? How is it going to happen? And then all of a sudden when you are like, I'm good, like I feel good, I look good, I'm, doing what I'm meant to do, then everything gets to relax and your clients feel that, right? Like they energetically and vibrationally feel that, like they feel the ease and all, and it's like a door opens for them that otherwise they didn't see, or maybe we were just holding our hands in resistance to it, realizing like we're saying, give me all your money, but like really have our hands up because we're just so clenched and like freaking stressed the freak out. But all of a sudden the relaxation allows them to relax as well. Like we get to be conduits and we get to take a stand for our clients. We get to say, you don't have to struggle either. I'm choosing not to struggle and I'm showing you it's possible for me. I'm showing you I can feel empowered. You get to feel the same way. And I think that's a piece of that, right? That probably happened for your clients where all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is easy. I'm okay. Like this is going to be great.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That's really like the key to like manifesting something that is your desire. If Kelly had a desire, I don't know how many were your goal is or whatever for the month, but you have to like know that that's going to happen. And when you don't see it, when you hold the space for that in your higher vibration, that is when they can come up, they can come in and show up. And there's like actual physical things that are going on. Like think about what Kate said, when you're clenching, when you're stressed, your natural energy that's like actually in your gut, it's like everything slows down and you have this like vibrational field that comes out of your body. And the bigger it is, the more reach you have in that higher vibration for something to match to it. Like, how we talk about like magnets and attracting things. So wouldn't you want it to be easier rather than harder than you're clenching up, keeping yourself small? If your body's flowing, if your energy's flowing, if you're feeling good, then you are expansive and more people are going to see it and be able to easily come into that.
And when you're clenched from the style piece, you usually just get really, I'm trying not to cuss on this. You get really friggin' frustrated in your closet and you're like, I'm just going to grab whatever I see. Like ugh, fine, put it on. And like, you don't really think about that has a vibration. Like whatever you just put on in pure pissed off mode or frustrated mode or exhausted mode, or like I'm pissed at someone else, so I'm not even paying attention to the stained, ripped, gym tee I just put on. That has a vibration. Like now that's going to be this cloak you're carrying around all day of pissed off, angry, don't give a shit mode. Like that's what we're putting out there. So that has a vibration. So for you to stop and look at the closet and say, does it make me feel confident? Does it make me feel sexy? Does it make me feel edgy? That is, again, putting yourself first, but you are creating that day's vibration just even by asking yourself that, right? Like before you put the clothes on, it's like, I know that's where I want to be. I know that that's my zone of genius. I know that my clients get the most service when I'm there. I know I feel good. My husband and I connect. My children, learn to wash their own clothes. Like things happen for me when I'm in that place. And that feels good. That's the path of least resistance for me. And it doesn't mean that's what it is for everyone, but yours, that's what it is. I'm curious. I just have a question for you. 2 questions that I'm thinking. One is, what are you excited to now get? I know that you are kind of like Jody and I, and that you're like, I want to do everything I can until the course starts so I get the most out of it, and I'm going to be the straight A student. So like what are you excited to get out of the 6-week course, and even like working with us up until that point?
I think a big part of it for me is really solidifying and anchoring it all in. I have a tendency, like you were saying, to just like go in head for, like, I just go, like I make a decision and I'm all in and I rush forward and I want to do it all. And sometimes that doesn't let things really stick and stay. And that can make it, you got to root it in a little bit. So I'm excited to go through that process because it's like the accountability, and I'm in that community, and I'm daily reminders and like that type of energy and environment to be a part of. And also just continuing to learn, like every time you talk about food, Jody, there's like something else that I learned. You shared about something about mango the other day, and my son is obsessed with mango, and we have mango always in our house. It's usually frozen, but it was like we love that stuff. And now it makes so much more sense why he likes that and why he's such a happy, awesome kid. Like he's probably like half mango.
Oh,
so
I love that.
it's like,
So happy.
Yes, there's a pro tip for all your moms you can share. Like feed your kids mangoes. They'll be in better foods.
like, and I didn't there's so much that my kids do. Like my daughter is definitely the carbaholic, and she's like all about bread and tortillas and pasta, and like getting her she'll eat vegetables if I put them in front of her, but she would never choose them on her own. But the ones that she does choose to eat are the more vibrant colors. And it's just fun to see the difference between the two and how their energy does get affected. And like, it's, if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So it has to start with me first. And then I can come from a better place. So I'm not snippy and like, well, just eat your damn vegetables. Like they understand that they need them. I'm happy about it. I'm going to make really good food and tasty stuff. And so I'm excited to continue to learn more about the energetic things for food. And, when you were traveling, Kate, you were saying that you had stuff in the car, like the dried mango or the fresh mango, and it was like in the coconut water, and like just learning like how those things all work energetically and why I like certain foods and why certain days I want something else. And the day that I didn't have coffee, I had no coffee in the morning whatsoever, I got up and I made a smoothie that was made of mango and it had coconut milk in it. And it was like, well, that explains why I wanted the mango, because I needed that boost to like lift me up. So I'm excited to learn more about those little things and relation to the food and the energy that affect me, that affect my kids, and anything to do to help me with my fashion and my style. Like you were saying, Kate, it's been a process this year of really coming out and being unapologetically me and trying new things and figuring out what I like, what I don't like. And I love this new edgy piece that I'm finally like allowing to have more presence in my life.
Me too.
So, and I have a photo shoot in December, so I'm really excited. This is like perfect timing to like continue all of this high vibration. I'm traveling a lot. I'm actually traveling this weekend to my family's having a baby shower from my brother and sister-in-law. And usually when we go stay at my dad's, it's like the one place that I have the most trouble with staying high vibrational, because it's always just kind of like there's like literally no vegetables in the house. Like
sounds like Jody's family.
About this, you gotta bring them.
Yeah.
Jody, you need to do a live stream living in Iowa on what to do when
Yes.
everyone
What to
around you
do
doesn't
when you
eat.
go to a potluck or a family gathering.
Yeah.
Or a
It's so
dinner party.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hard. Like I have to pack my own food, which is extra work, but I feel so much better. Like I've already got stuff already picked out and packed, and like peppers and bananas and avocados and like all kinds of stuff that I know I can make sure that I eat really well. And I pack different clothes than I normally do. Like we're at the lake house. Everybody's usually in like pajamas and no big deal. But I intentionally brought like nicer clothes and picked
Kelly,
out different
because you
outfits
have
and-
access to us, you should message Jody, or maybe she'll do a live stream on this. She literally brings, like for the potluck, she brings all kinds of food to it that she knows she's going to eat. And it's actually really freaking good. And even beverages, like she knows how to make amazing alcoholic beverages that are like super yummy. So if she doesn't do a live stream, you should message her.
I'm gonna someday soon write like a healthy entertaining book, because I love having dinner parties and stuff. But people think like, oh well, I'm going to a football party, so it's going to be like chips and cheese. I'm like, no, I'm bringing quinoa salad.
Exactly.
You can use your gluten-free blah 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 with, but and then everyone eats it, and I'm like, hey, that was mine.
Everyone ends up liking yours. The other thing I wanted to point out too, that let me know, Kelly, if you need help with this, but one of the things about trips, because you were talking about trips and I was like, ooh, I can't wait to talk about this in the program. I like to make sure that all of my clients and all of our group people stay high vibe on trips. And what that means to me, like, yes, there is the food component, and you know that I went straight to Whole Foods when I landed in California, but there is also the component of, I have always been made fun of for having like Girl Scout techniques. Like I have my Mary Poppins bag and all of that. But when it comes to packing for a trip, I like to have a couple things for every possible option. And it doesn't mean that I have 300 pounds in a suitcase. Like I always hit the requirement. It's fine.
You do.
I mean, I never go over the 50 pounds, but every time that we've traveled overseas, Jody and I have always had also a photo shoot. So I have like 2 suitcases. One is just shoes. But point is, for everyone else that's traveling, there is a way to keep high vibe, because I think one of the things that can bring us down is if something comes up and you're like, well, I didn't know we were going to do that. What do I wear to that? Like, that's frustrating. Now I don't feel cute. Like now I don't feel excited to do that. Like I don't have anything to wear to that so I will go with my clients on every single thing. And we're going to do this in the group, every single trip that you're going to go on. And we think of like, what are all the possibilities? Like, what are the different things that can happen in the day? And using different things in different ways so that you feel prepared for literally anything that could possibly happen.
Literally, like, this would be worth buying this course to know how to always pack. I'm always like, what's my list? And then we were in Paris and we end up like going to Moulin Rouge or something. And I was like, I don't have anything to wear.
Yeah.
That's so true. The 3 of us, we travel all the freaking time, and learning how to do that in a way that feels good, that makes it stress-free. Like I sit and people watch in the airport and stuff, and it's amazing how stressed out people are, and it's all self-induced. There's so many things that we can do, from packing to being prepared to planning ahead. And like, it's something I was just talking about this the other day, that's something I guess I've always done naturally. It's just like being able to plan ahead, and I do it very effortlessly. Is like, I remember being in high school when I would be bored to shit in a class and I'd be like doodling on a paper and like planning something out and like creating a list for something. It's like what I've always done. And I didn't realize it until recently with like planning retreats and planning events and planning travel and traveling more, how beneficial that is. And it just makes it such a more joyful experience. My husband is so thankful. He made fun of me at first for all my lists and stuff, but our trips are beyond comfortable and joyful from beginning to end because I'm prepared and I think about all these situations. And learning more about foods to eat has been huge this year, because when you fly, I mean, your digestive system just gets all messed up. So that's been a huge improvement this year, just learning what to eat better when we travel and how to accommodate all those situations, and with the airport security and like getting through those things, what can I bring? And
with all of the international travel, I mean, Jody flew to Italy last year and they lost her bags. So luckily,
By the way, it's pretty rough to get something healthy in Dusseldorf, Germany. I was like on the end of all my snacks were eaten, and I was like, "Get me to Italy now!" And then I had no clothes.
And there is something to be said. Jody and I have talked about this before, but there's something to be said for allowing yourself to be high vibe and, really just having drawing a line in the sand of like, I'm going to fly business class, not to be obnoxious again, but like I said the other day, you can request whatever meal fits your dietary needs. And Jody and I requested, non-dairy vegetarian. Yeah. And so we got like tons of veggies and we felt great when we landed in Paris. And that's another piece of like allowing yourself to be first. But the thing is, I was going to point about Italy is she laid over in Germany, got to Italy and they didn't have her bags. But luckily I told her what to put in her carry-on. So she had like her jewelry and things like that and knew she could go pick up a couple things and she was fine. Obviously it's frustrating to lose your bags.
Because we had our soiree in Florence, Tuscany theme, whatever. I had a pair of Lululemon leggings and like a jacket, and we were like waiting for the next flight to come in, and they kept texting me like, "We do not have your bag. We do not have your bag." And so I grabbed my husband and I'm like, "We have to go shopping." And it was like the best because I got the best clothes. I had the accessories and I had the makeup. Otherwise, I would have looked like very disheveled,
Yeah.
Because-
Always bring your makeup and your accessories.
Yeah, packing in your carry-on is huge. I've learned to do that too, because when I got to, even in Maui, they lost my bag in the hotel for the entire day before our soiree that we had to go to. Like, it was there. I stayed the night before. I just switched rooms. Then it was gone. So, like, for the soiree, I had my cover-up and bikini and flip-flops and, like, no hair, makeup stuff at all. So I show up to this cocktail party with millionaires, and I'm like, I'm in my beachwear. Sorry. But I learned good lessons of, like, have this stuff in your purse. Or when you travel, like, I travel in my carry-on, I have all that stuff now. Like, at least your toothbrush. But now when I travel overseas, I put like all of my face wash stuff as much as I can, because it like there's nothing like cleaning up your face and like brushing your teeth. You just feel like a whole new person. And like clean underwear, that's a huge thing to keep in your bag. Like you don't have to change pants, but when you change your underwear, you change your face, like you feel great. But those little things people don't think about. They're like, oh, I'll just shove it in my bag. And
rose water.
Like, no.
People don't think about that, and kids, for some reason, kids don't think about that. But anyway, that's a story for another time. So my last question that I have for you, is there anything, like Jody and I love to give on the spot, like intuitive hit type things. Is there anything that you've been dealing with or you would like to break through, or any kind of high vibe stuff that we can help you up level, like while you have us here, the benefit of having us with you right now, anything that we can do to support you right now? And obviously you have us before the program too, but and during the program. But is there anything we can help you with right now that you're like, ooh, I would love to know about this, Jody, for food? Or I know that I've already been nerding out and sending you pictures for the photo shoot because I'm like super freaking
They're
excited.
so good though. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
And that was fun. Wendy will be a lot of fun for that photo shoot. Let's see. I think I would love to hear if you've ever worked with a client that, like, they come to you and they talk about the fact they're like, I want to change this, I want these results. And then you get into some of the coaching and discussions and they're shut off. They're closed and they won't, it's always like, I don't know, but I can't. And like, you're trying to like figure out how, man, what has been your experience and how do you facilitate them being able to let go a little bit more and like try something new? Because it's not like you're asking them to like wipe out their entire kitchen or empty their entire closet, obviously in the beginning, but those little steps. But even those sometimes, I have a couple of clients right now that they're just like blocked. They're like, I don't know. I'm like, man, then what did you pay me for? Like, I'll take your money, but what?
I feel like Jody can speak to this very well.
Well, so that you have clients that won't change their food habits. Is that what you're saying?
She's saying they're just blocked, and like what she's trying to coach them on, and like how have we in our businesses been able to help them break through? Like what has helped with that?
Yeah. I mean, usually the people that I work with, that they come to me, they're really excited about transforming their health and their body. And so like, they're very open, of course, to what I have to say, because that's why they showed up. But I mean, on the other side, as a health coach, a lot of times I'm not talking about food with people, right? Because that's not where the problem started usually, because we are emotional, energetic beings. And so you can't like just say, it's just the food. Like you can't put it all on the food. It's like, that's giving away your power to your body is only going to be the way it is because of what you eat. And a lot of it is, you know, but it also has to do with other things. So sometimes for me, it's like getting people to open up about their life. If they aren't like, they don't want to talk about their relationships or what's really going on. Like, where did this really start? Because when I see people struggling with body image or body weight or gut issues or fatigue, like there is a reason that they've been under chronic inflammation, or things that are showing up in your body come from chronic negative thinking. And that stuff starts in many places. So I think it's just really using the right tone, using the right voice with the people, kind of feeling into where they're at. And like you said, Kelly, because you're in a higher paradigm, a higher vibration, you can tell and you'll know. And like for me, that's how I kind of know, like I just get a feeling it's like probably over in this direction. And so it's like just using the coaching that we've all had and asking really good questions, you know, open-ended questions, like, you know, like where, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like knowing where to go. Does that make sense? But I would just be like, well, why are you so resistant to, you know, talking about, you know, changing your kitchen? And it might be like something simple, like it seems like a lot of work in their mind for like to change what everyone does, what everyone eats, or, you know, maybe they probably think it's like a lot of work, or they're not seeing the value in it. Or I just get really curious, like what's going on with this food piece, you know, like what's holding you back or what seems hard about it, or, you know, just kind of going there and then tell them to eat mangoes first.
I think I also, with my clients, when we're having sessions and I'm chatting with them, I usually know what they want, like what we're preparing for, but I will, before we even start, even if it's like they've set up the appointment because we're preparing for their trip, in the beginning, I will let them set the tone so then I can keep them accountable to it. So if they've set it up to plan for a trip, I'll say, okay, I know that ideally we were wanting to work on the trip, but why don't you tell me what you want to make sure that we accomplish in this next 60 minutes? Like what you want to make sure that we do this and this and this. And then other things usually come up. Like, actually, I'd also have this thing coming up and I would love to know what to wear because I'm really kind of freaked out about it. So then when we go on, and if they start to get resistant, like sometimes I have clients who I also teach makeup. So if they haven't been wearing a lot of makeup, they are very resistant to adding it to the routine. Mm-hmm. And so they'll keep booking appointments of like, okay, I want to get styled and I want to do the makeup. And they'll always try to push the makeup to like, let's just do it next time. And sometimes I can tell, like, I can just feel like, you know, they're at it. Because funny enough, like style and all that can be very taxing on someone who it's not very commonplace for yet. Yeah. Like they're not into it. It can feel like a lot at first until they feel very energized by it and all of that, which is totally fine. It's a learning process. But so I can kind of energetically feel like, yeah, we actually should push it to next time so that it's just like a clean mind and let's just have a session of just makeup. But there's been other times when people say, I don't know if I'm feeling it. And I'll say, listen, you said at the beginning of this session that you wanted to make sure you covered it because you have X, Y, and Z coming up and you want to feel confident in those areas. Are you second guessing because you're tired? Are you trying to sell out on yourself? Like, I don't want this to be the excuse that you don't show up for you. I'm taking a stand for you. And then sometimes they'll be like, crap, you're right. Let's just do makeup, like, or whatever. And it's not that I'm trying to force them. Like, I don't care whether they do it or not, but they have hired you, they've hired me, they've hired Jody and put us in a position of power in their lives to take a stand for them. So I just remind them of that and it helps that I ask in the beginning of every session, like, you know, what did you want to make sure we cover? And if they've said that, I'll say, you said at the beginning, here's why you said it. And I think that we should just do it. And you've got the time, I've got the time. The more you do it, the better it's going to feel, the more natural. So that's what it is for me, is just reminding them that this was their choice. And they chose it for a reason. They want to take a stand for themselves for a reason. And if they're choosing to not take a stand for themselves, that's also a choice. You can't force someone, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's only so many times I can reach out and be like, hey, I'm here. Like, you've paid for me, so I would love to support you. And if they're busy or they just don't have time, that's fine. Like, you just bless them and that's okay. But it's on them to be the adult, right? Like you can't hold someone's hand and force them to drink. You can just bring them to the water.
Right. Very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun process to watch as I evolve, how the clients I attract evolve, and
That's the
learn
other
from
thing
each
too. The more you
person.
get high vibe, the more you're going to attract people that are the mirror of that. Jody and I have been talking a lot about this. The people that you bring into your like that's why we were so stoked about you signing up, because we were like, oh my God, we love her. Like so fun. Yeah, like we're mirroring such an awesome energy. So like that, you will start attracting more and more of that too. And you'll notice the people that are no longer on that energetic, level
Yeah, they
or
won't even
on
hear
that
you.
vibration. They'll kind of peter out and you won't be
they
upset
just
about
disappear.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You want, like I had one of our other friends, she's like, I had another client finish up and didn't want to renew. And she's like, I was kind of excited about it, because you just kind of get to a place where you're like, that's not really where I'm at anymore. I want new mirrors, like of where I'm feeling now. And you'll get that. Like now I just have dreamboat clients that I'm just like obsessed. I want to hang out with all of them, which is why our coach is, our coach Gina will say to me, why do they have your phone number? I'm like, because I love them and I do want to text them all day long.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's part of the process too that I'm going through, is really transitioning into this higher vibration more consistently and being able to actually allow myself to attract those people, because I'm kind of staying at this new vibration. So I think this is just also a part of that transition of like letting go of some of those older people, bringing on the new ones. There's probably other things that I could need to be learning, our little angel messengers from certain people. So I'm always kind of aware of those things of like, well, I don't want to see that yet, but maybe I need to. So it's a fun process to kind of look at what you are attracting into your circle of influence, both clients and energetically with people and situations, and the way their body's responding, and what happens when you make different decisions and things shift and you start to shake it up and you're like, things have to kind of break loose and you have to be willing to let go. So it's been a fun journey so far to see what, I guess it's kind of like, let me just see what it feels like to be at that vibration, and letting yourself be like, oh, cool, let's play here because I like this.
Yeah, totally. And I agree with you. I was in total vulnerability here. I recently, Jody knows that I was dealing with my own body stuff of like this unnecessary weight that my body would not let go of. And it made no sense.
She
Jody
eats perfectly. And I don't use the word perfectly to think that to say that there is a perfect diet, but for her and what I know about her, it was very fitting.
Yeah. Yeah. Jody was like, there are days when you eat cleaner than me. Like that is not a food thing. Like you're not doing something with your food. And I had to really, and it would have been easier for it to be a food thing, right? Where I could just be like, I don't need to deal with anything else. Like I'll just adjust this food. And I would even say to her, just literally tell me anything I can cut out of my diet and I'll cut it out, or what should I eat? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh,
dang it. I didn't want to hear that answer.
No, I did not want to hear that answer.
Like the juicing is not going to do it. It's like, get in your head.
Like, I'll starve myself. And she's like, no. So anyway, then, I was also working with this energy worker, and Jody and I both have worked with her, and I had a session with her where I was doing some tapping and some like really, and actually Jody said first, she's like, I think this is some unforgiveness stuff. And I was like, no, let's move on. And
I don't want to talk about that.
No, that's a silly topic. And then I talked to our other coach, person that we're working with, and did some tapping, and like some pretty serious stuff came up that I was hanging on to like it was my friggin' scepter. Like I was just like, I'm not letting go of this. Like I'm so mad. And I had let go of it by just ignoring it and like never talking about it, pretending like it never existed, not even sharing like the intricacies of it with anyone. Like nobody knew. And it was like a major process where I got the opportunity to let go of this unforgiveness. And it was huge. So I agree with you. Like there are things that come up, and it's not necessarily all roses and butterflies, because certainly I would have loved to just keep ignoring this and like adjust some food. But your body, when you are so in tune with your body is vibrationally responding to what's happening. And Jody can talk to this more, but it was just like, my body finally, and this is what has to happen to me, is usually my body or my business have to go into like shutdown mode for me to be like, fine.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I've been there.
like you wouldn't have been able to even see it or know it if you hadn't changed your body that much first.
Totally.
Because it makes you open to awarenesses when you don't have impurities and toxins, like physical toxins and things in the body, will literally block your thinking process. And your body, when you start to go towards eating real things, eating things that it really can use for nutrients and fuel, you will go through healing crises in like the reverse order that things happen. So like it might not be major, it might be headaches, it might be a couple days when you're really tired. But it, like I was talking about, I'm on this juice cleanse, and it really has been, it's not always fun when you get to like the afternoon and you're like, this is what I'm going to have now. But it like brings up feelings, and you are available then to see them and to address them so you can clear them. And that's so interconnected. But yes, you're right. Like when your body does something like symptom wise, physically, it's always a sign. It's always a message like, hey, pay attention, like something is off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the power of being in tune with your body. Because otherwise it could have just been like, if I was hanging on to this extra weight, it could have just been this thought of like, oh, well, I've just been eating crap. So obviously it's like all the wine I've been drinking or all the cheese I've been eating, which that hurts my stomach to even think about all that. But
Right? It really does now.
yeah. But say had that been my life, I could have just shrugged it off to that. But because I knew it wasn't that, it was like, oh, there's actually some work that can be done and it was good. It was work that needed to be done to take me to that next level that I had been asking for. Like I had been wanting that in my personal life and my professional life. And this was the door to that, right? Like the door to all of those things that were already there waiting for me. So this is stuff that we're doing too. Anyway, before we close out, I just want to mention, obviously the Skinny, Stylish, and Rich sessions are open now. We start at the beginning of November. So definitely message Jody or I if you are interested in joining with Kelly to get on this awesome path and just get yourself to crush your goals in 2017 with fun. Having fun with fashion, having fun with food, getting into that high vibe place, saying yes to yourself and getting all those goals and visions and dreams that you have been wanting. Jody and I launched yesterday like a referral bonus program. So for anyone that comes into the program, if you tell someone else and they give us your name, you will get an extra session with Jody or I. You get to pick who you want to have that with, and you could keep doing that. So Kelly, you could give Kelly's name and she could get a session with me, and then someone else could give her name and she could get a session with Jody. So make sure that you guys are doing that. We want to get the reason we're doing that, I guess I should share this. The reason that we're doing that is because we know that we are attracting women who are ready to make a friggin' difference in this world and are like super stoked and excited to be in a high vibe place. And we love those Dreamboat clients. We love Kelly. We love people like Kelly. So we're super excited to work with you. We're super excited to be of service to you. And we want more of you. Like we're just so excited by this. So that's why we're doing that. That's why we're motivated to offer that. So make sure to take advantage of that and message us. The sooner you get in, the more access to Jody and I you get. So you can literally be like Kelly and be getting some major results within 5 days to really kind of kick your pants into motion and make that happen. Am I missing anything, Jody?
No, I don't think so. The 6-week course is $19.98. So it's a very reasonable investment to be able to there's so much that you can accomplish in 6 weeks, let alone like a bonus week, couple of weeks ahead of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you are feeling like you want to up level in these areas that will lead into definite up leveling in your business and your life, then this is for you.
And there's a power of the women. Another reason that we're doing that referral thing is because there's power in being in a group of women that are also at the same level and going through the same thing. Like that high vibe, it's going to push you and catapult you even further. So join
Plus
us.
you'll get to have people to show your clothes to.
Yeah. Can all go shopping. I did a video yesterday talking about the different things to wear, and you're going to get me. Not only are we going to figure out where you feel like stylistically, I'm just going to give this little piece out there, where you're at stylistically and what feels good and true to you, but I'm going to be able to, I didn't realize this until a couple weeks ago when Jody and I were talking about this, but I can just like, I know your style before you know it. Like I can just see it. So when I was sending things to Kelly yesterday, I was just like seeing it. And to me, that just makes sense, but it's obviously the gifting I've been given and not everyone has that. So we're going to make sure that your style feels good to you, but also I'm going to give you the visual representation of that and be like, okay, that's what this is. Like the things you've been feeling, it looks like this. So that you're like, yes, oh my gosh, things like that.
Yeah, you are naturally gifted at that. It's pretty awesome that I'm like,
Which
I kind of know what is that. I just don't have I'm just not, that's just not my gift. So it's nice to have somebody that's like, this is what I'm seeing. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly it. That's what I've been trying to portray. That's it.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing too. Like I was saying to Jody the other day, now you're at a place where you could just say, I'm growing my team. I now have a stylist on my team and I have a dietitian on my team, a health coach. Like, that's just cool to be able to say, like, my team is growing and those are other people, experts I have. Like, we're not here to just like teach, like we're part of your team now, you know, like we're part of the people that are supporting you in your excellence and in your growth and your accomplishments.
Well, thanks, Kelly, for jumping on and taking this lunch hour with us.
Yeah. Thanks for
Oh.
lunching.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Been having
It's
some
fun.
food. Duh.
Well, you're juicing, so that would have been
Oh yeah,
not
That'd
as fun
been
for you.
torture.
I did have a really good, I made sure to eat. I went out to lunch with my husband at my favorite little coffee shop. And it's actually a European style. And they have a Caesar salad and it's all made of kale. And it was just like fantastic. It was like
Ooh.
perfect before I got on the call with you guys. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm glad
Of
we got to connect
course.
and chat. And
Oh,
talk
one
all
more
this
thing.
stuff.
Obviously, you guys message Jody or I if you want to get in on the program. But Kelly, how can they find you?
My Facebook page is Life Coach Kelly Greeno, and Instagram is Kelly Greeno. You could just search Kelly. It looks like Grignon. That's usually how I tell people when they're trying to spell it. It looks like Grignon. I'll answer to that too because it's just I'm used to people murdering it. But yeah, that's probably the best place to find me is just on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay, awesome. And you said, tell them again, just in case people are tuning in late, you're a life coach for moms.
I am. So I am the founder of kellygreeno.com, where I transform the overwhelmed, overstressed mom business owner into the woman that is confident, passionate, and abundant in every area of her life.
And she's getting lots of amazing Dreamboat clients. So if you want to be one of her next clients, part of her success story, go check her out. She's cooking with gas. And then myself, you can find Kate Taylor, stylist on Facebook, on Instagram, anything like that. And Jody is Jody Bullock. RD.com is her website. And then
No,
on
it's
Facebook.
not. It's just my name. I'm not doing that.
Oh, you took the RD off the website?
Oh, it's just my name. Yeah.
Sorry, jodybullock.com. And then also on Facebook, search for Jody Bullock and it'll pull her up. Her private group is Pure Foodies. My private group is Stylish Success Entrepreneurs with Bang and Brand. So any of those places you can message us and we will give you the info for the course and get you signed up. And I think that's it. Right?
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.